The symbol and the system: why money holds power over people. Long before coins or credit existed, humans traded in meaning. We painted on cave walls, carved idols, told stories about the stars. Each of those acts transformed raw experience into a symbol, something that stood for more than itself. We are symbolic creatures because the world is too vast and fleeting to hold in direct awareness. A symbol compresses reality. It allows us to grasp what we cannot touch, to remember, plan, and communicate beyond the moment. Language, art, ritual, law, all are systems of symbols that make collective life possible. So when early societies began to exchange goods, it was natural that they reached for the same mental tool, a token that stood for value. A shell, a bead, a stamped piece of metal, these became portable symbols of trust. Money was not born as greed, it was born as abstraction, an extension of the human capacity to represent. Once a symbol appears, belief gives it life. A coin's worth depends entirely on mutual recognition. Both giver and receiver must agree on what it means. That shared fiction is fragile but powerful, powerful enough to move armies, build cities, and shape civilizations. Over time, we stopped seeing the symbol as a tool and began to see it as a truth. Money ceased to be a map of value and became the territory itself. In this inversion lies its power. People will risk their health, freedom, or integrity not for what money buys, but for the money itself. It has become the mirror in which society sees its own faith. At its core, money is potential. It is the promise of future action, food not yet eaten, journeys not yet taken, security not yet tested. To a mind evolved in scarcity, potential is everything. Our ancestors survived by seeking and storing food, shelter, alliances. Money translates that ancient instinct into abstract form. Because it can be converted into almost anything, money feels like freedom itself. That's why its absence breeds anxiety and its abundance feels intoxicating. The more uncertain the world becomes, the more we cling to symbols that promise control over it. In a sense, money is the modern talisman against chaos. But money's power is not only psychological, it is social. In almost every culture, wealth signals competence, status, and belonging. It is how societies measure contribution and reward, or at least, how they appear to. This link between money and identity runs deep. To lose money is to risk losing place in the social fabric. Thus, money functions as a mirror of worth. We read ourselves and others through its reflection, forgetting that the mirror distorts. When we internalize its scale, we begin to value time, creativity, and even kindness in terms of economic yield. That shift doesn't make us shallow, it makes us consistent with the system that surrounds us. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient wisdom suspected. The pursuit of reward lights up the brain's dopaminergic pathways. Money, as a generalized reward cue, taps directly into that circuitry. It becomes addictive not because it is evil, but because it is efficient, a single token that can stand in for every form of gratification the brain evolved to seek. This makes money a kind of universal stimulus, neutral in itself, yet potent enough to drive passion, competition, and obsession. Its value is measured not only in ledgers, but in neurotransmitters. Beyond minds and neurons lies the architecture of systems. Money centralizes decision-making power. Those who hold large flows of it can shape laws, markets, and even imagination. Power amplifies belief. The more visible its effects, the more real the symbol seems. This feedback loop makes money feel not like a creation, but a natural law. In truth, it is a social technology, one that works so well that we have forgotten we built it. Every symbol humanity creates eventually risks enslaving its maker. Words begin as tools and become dogmas. Religions begin as revelations and become hierarchies. Money begins as convenience and becomes necessity. The problem is not the symbol itself, but our tendency to confuse representation with reality. Money's power endures because it rides on our deepest capacities, to imagine, to trust, to cooperate. It is a collective story that shapes how we act together. To change its power would mean changing the story, deciding consciously that value lies not in the token but in the human agreements behind it. When we remember that money is a symbol, not a source, its grip loosens. we see that the real forces are the relationships, labor, and creativity it was meant to represent. We can then use it as a language of exchange, not a measure of identity. The goal is not to abolish money but to re-symbolize it, to treat it once again as a map, not the territory. That shift restores perspective. Behind every transaction is a person, a need, a choice, and a network of trust. Money holds power over people because people give it the power of meaning. It is the most successful story humanity has ever told, and like any great story, we live inside it. Its magic lies in collective imagination. Its danger lies in forgetting that imagination is ours to change. Money's hold on humanity is the hold of imagination itself. It began as a symbol meant to serve us, a shorthand for trust and shared labor, and it became a structure that shapes our choices, our fears, and even our sense of worth. Its power is real only because our collective belief keeps feeding it. The challenge now is not to destroy that symbol, but to redefine the meaning it carries. If money once turned cooperation into competition, perhaps it can be rewritten to turn competition back into creativity. If it once measured possession, perhaps it can evolve to measure contribution. The symbol will never vanish. We will always need ways to represent value. But we can remember that the symbol is ours to steer. When value returns to the things it was meant to describe, people, time, and the fragile beauty of living systems, money ceases to rule and becomes what it was at the beginning, a simple tool for shared imagination.